Hi folks, welcome back to Three Barrow Farm. I'm in my kitchen tonight and I just wanted to go over what I've been preserving at the moment and how I've been preserving it. So while I talk about this, I'm going to unclip these pears that I've just bottled the other day. So I have bottled these in a syrup and I've done 6 jars here. 2 of them are whole pears. So all I've done with these is just peel the skin off and then I've popped them straight into the jar and I've popped the syrup in and then bottled them up this way. The other ones I have done are quartered. So I've quartered the pears after peeling them and I've taken the core out as well. So I do about a medium strength of syrup. I've done 2 cups of sugar to about 5 cups of water. And all of these jars are fine for now putting away. They have all sealed really well and now I can write the date on the jar and pop them in our pantry. Before I write on them and put them away though, I'm just going to give the jars a little bit of a wipe down just because the syrup inside, if any of it has escaped into the water, it's a little bit sticky. So as well as normal pears, we have been harvesting nashis and we've got a massive box of nashis which I have to go through, and I'm going to be putting the ones that aren't quite ripe and ready to eat yet into the fridge, and then the rest will just go in a bowl on the bench. I ended up preserving those plums that I purchased and I made plum jam. And I also stewed some plums as well. The stewed plums are a little bit tarty, so they will definitely be used in recipes where we'll be adding other fruit to compensate for that, or where we'll be adding honey or sugar to the recipe. And with the jam, I made an apple and plum jam, and I actually processed this jam in my Thermomix and it turned out really well. However, one recipe worth only did 1 jar worth, even though it didn't take very long to cook. I would still prefer to do things a bit more bulk than 1 jar at a time, but it was worth it in the end anyway. So I got 2 jars of the jam and I think around 6 jars of the stewed plums. And I also added apples into the stewed plums as well. So one thing I've been trying to do this year while preserving is try and find things that I haven't preserved before. And I've never frozen zucchini before, and I've seen people freezing vegetables in the portions that they need to then make something. So this portion here makes 2 mini zucchini bread loaves. These bags here have frozen together, so I'm going to have to try and separate these. But I've also frozen some zucchini in batches for fritters as well. So they're easy to take out just to whiz up and use in fritters, or to use as zucchini chocolate cake, which these mini loaves are for. So I'll definitely be freezing more zucchini in the portions that I've been freezing them, and this just helps with the glut that you get from certain vegetables. I'm getting quite the basketfuls of tomatoes now. I'm getting lots and lots of cherry tomatoes and lots of the Tigerilla and the sourcing tomatoes. Some of them are really, really small. The larger ones are yet to ripen, and then we're getting some slicing ones as well. So I'll definitely be starting the process with the tomatoes, processing them into sauces and bottling them up, just like I did with the ones I purchased in the shop. I don't have quite as much yet coming in to do large quantities of bottled tomatoes, but I definitely have enough there to do certain things I want to do, including making my own tomato paste. And I think with the tomato paste, because I'm running low on the smaller jars, I'm probably going to freeze the tomato paste in ice cube trays and then just pop them out and put them into plastic bags to store in the deep freezer. I've been harvesting every second or third morning. Sometimes I'm harvesting in the evening as well, and we're receiving lots of cucumbers and tomatoes, as I said before, zucchinis, lots and lots of fruit. We've harvested most of our prune plums, which are the most delicious plums. I absolutely love them, and I would definitely plant a few more trees of those. You just want to be careful not to eat too many in one day. I've also just started harvesting some potatoes that are in that long, big row of potatoes that I planted. I've got so many potatoes out there in the garden to harvest, but I'm just harvesting a small amount just to use in dinners when needed, and then I will be doing a big harvest very soon. These potatoes here, I believe, are the up-to-date variety. Also with the fruit, we've been harvesting lots of apples. There aren't as many this year, I think, as there have been in past years. But we are storing some of them in the fridge because we don't have our long-term storage solution up and running yet. I'm hoping that that will be ready for next year's harvest. But we are enjoying the apples. I'm going to start bottling a few of the apples as well, just in the same way as the pears have been done, and the plums as well. I do quite a bit of preserving with stewed fruit. So I just stew the fruit up, chuck it in the bottles, and then water bath them. So here is the massive box of nashis that I have to sort through. There are even more on the tree than this. The nashis are quite small. We've had them some years where they've been probably double the size of this, but because our nashi tree is not hooked up to irrigation and we've been a bit patchy with the watering and it basically hasn't rained this summer, they've turned out to be quite small. So this one is ready to eat now because it's gone a yellowy colour. However, the green ones are quite nice, although not as sweet and gorgeous as the yellow ones. And despite the fact that they haven't had much water, they are still really, really juicy and watery. So I'm going to label these bottles and pop them with the rest of the items that we've been preserving. I do look forward to filming a video at the very end of our preserving season to show you everything we've preserved. And I'd love to hear from you and hear how you preserve your harvest and what you're doing differently this year. I'd love for us to share more recipes or ideas of how to get these things in the freezer or on the shelves. So let me know below in the comments how you're preserving your vegetables and your fruit this year. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to bringing you another video soon. Bye for now.